This is crazy, honestly. Look at that. This is crazy, honestly. So what you've just watched there, that was not an accident, okay? That was a delivery, and somebody planned that. And this is what we're going to talk about in this video, and we're going to prove it. We're going to prove exactly what actually happened, because all what you've just seen there was actually something that was planned months ago. And looking at it, it was a former official from the United States Pentagon that sat down and wrote a document, and in that document, which we're going to look at, and I'm going to put a link in the description, he told Morocco exactly what to do. And this is a document that was written on the March 16, 2026. So March, April, May, June, July. So we're talking about 4 months ago when this document was actually written. It clearly says in this document right here, it says Moroccans should gather, send bulldozers to the border, and then enter Ceuta and Melilla unarmed to raise the flag. And this is exactly what has happened today. We've seen a swarm of people. We are talking about more than 60,000 people that crossed the borders from Morocco into these two cities, Ceuta and Melilla. And the document further goes to say that Sanchez and the Spanish press would have no grounds to act. Nor, for that matter, would NATO, even if Moroccan forces enter the towns to restore order and organize the dispatch of settlers across the Strait of Gibraltar and back to Spain. In short, what that simply says is that in that document, send your people to the border unarmed, march in, raise the flag, and then NATO won't even stop you. Not even Spain. Spain won't even actually touch you. So they sent civilians there, and this was in a document that was published openly for the world to see. Now, the biggest question of all of this is that why would an American official write that? Why would Mr. Michael Rubin actually write this document? Now, obviously, we know if you look at it, this man has been writing lots of articles, for so many different countries. So this is not the first time that this man is writing all these, publishing these documents. And the whole idea, obviously, for him is to influence policy, government policy at different levels. And this is exactly what they've done. Now, one of the plausible arguments that is coming out about the reason why this document was written up by this ex-Pentagon official was in view that Spain had done something Washington could not forgive. So Spain recognized Palestine as a state, and then Spain called Gaza a genocide. And also the other reason is because Spain froze all arms sales to Israel. And also we know that Spain backed the ICC arrest warrant for Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israel Prime Minister. So if you really think of it, there's no country in the Western Europe that has been and was louder than Spain. So this man, the former Pentagon official, is one of the most powerful pro-Israel voices in Washington, and is a very close ally of Mr. Rubio, who is the Secretary of State to the United States. And obviously, from looking at this document that is written here, that was published in March 2026, Spain was his target, and obviously he used Morocco as a weapon, send civilians to cause havoc, just to cause a nuisance, You know that if you send 60,000 of all those people, that is going to overwhelm the people, it will overwhelm the public, it will cause a public nuisance. Now, if we really dig into the past, this is not the first time that this kind of thing is actually happening. A similar event happened on November 6, 1975. And it clearly says in Michael Rubin's document, right here, it says, and I quote, on November 6, 1975, approximately 350,000 unarmed Moroccans simply marched into the Sahara. They waved Moroccan flags and carried the Quran. Spanish forces stood down, and just over a week later, Spain signed the Madrid Accords, in which Spain, Morocco, and Mauritania agreed to respect the views of the local population. Spain agreed to withdraw from the territory by the end of the following February. So this was a repeat of 1975. Now, the argument of a lot of people that might be asking, why is this happening? It's because of these two cities. So this is basically a land dispute between these two cities, Ceuta and Melilla. Now, in 2020, Morocco made a deal. It agreed to recognize Israel publicly and officially. So in return, the President of the United States of America, Mr. Trump, would give Morocco something it had always wanted for decades, and that was the American recognition of its authority over Western Sahara. So that recognition by the United States is exactly what Morocco has always wanted. Anything to justify the fact that those two cities belong to Morocco, they would do anything. They would do anything to make sure that people are on their side, and they did exactly that. Now, this is crazy, really, because you can imagine someone else writing such a document to influence public policy or government policy, or to influence people or governments, for that matter, to the point that 60,000 people had to carry out, word by word, a blueprint of exactly what happened. This is unprecedented, and it's a big disappointment. I mean, in some circles, this would be treason, but who knows, this might just be dismissed as a paper that was published and, this is it, but then 34 people have been sacrificed. They've drowned, dead, delivering that message, and they had no idea that there were instruments used in the process, in a plan designed in Washington and signed off in Israel. This is crazy, this divide and rule kind of thing will never stop. It's a shame. It's a big shame.